one of the most interesting ideas I came across recently is that self-doubt can be an ally. Yeah, I said it. Self-doubt can be an ally. Let me explain. I was reading Stephen Pressfield's book, War of Art, and then he basically explained that self-doubt is an indication of aspiration. It basically reflects your love. It reflects our love for something. It could be a career, a person, an opportunity, a business. The list goes on and on. Right? An it basically shows you something you dream of doing. Also, it's also an indication that the desire to do that thing is present with you. And when I heard this in the book, in the audiobook I was listening to, I literally paused it, and then I took a screenshot of the timestamp because I felt like this is something worth revisiting as a reminder. It's something worth talking about. It's something worth sharing, and that is why I'm doing this. All right. And when I thought about it, it actually made sense. It made absolute sense. Most of the things I've ever doubted myself for in the past are things I cared about, something I wanted to build, something I wanted to share, right? Or a business I wanted to start, or a person I wanted to become, right? Those are things I genuinely cared about. And then if we establish the fact that self-doubt or is an indication of desire, I think the reaction we have to it needs to change. That means that my reaction and your reaction to self doubt shouldn't be retreating or running away from those things, right? It should actually be taking it as a sign that, okay, this is something I still need to improve on. But while I am improving on it, I'm going to take those shots, all of those shots. I'm going to apply to those opportunities I'm tempted to convince myself to retreat from and run away from because I think I'm not good enough. Right? And the interesting thing is every time I reflect back to those opportunities I applied to, that in my head or somewhere a part of me felt like I wasn't good enough, that I doubted myself for. I got some of them. Yes, there were some rejections, there were some negative responses, but the ones that came, the positive responses, the yeses, right? They've moved me significantly forward. Like they led to major wins, which I wouldn't have gotten if I didn't apply, if I didn't take a shot, if I never tried. Like my reason for making this video is if you ever find yourself asking questions like, am I good enough? Am I qualified for this? Can I even do this? I think those questions are not signs of weakness, right? They are indicators of desire. And now that we've established that, our reaction to it shouldn't be retreating or running away. It should be two things. First, taking those shots, like applying for those opportunities, talking to whoever it is, starting whatever it is, like starting the business, starting whatever it is, just taking those shots. And while we're taking those shots, we keep improving, right? And then we bring those two together. So basically taking shots and improving basically puts us in the arena where we get real-time feedback, right? While we're improving, we're taking shots. And we basically give ourselves access to opportunities. Because I also know somebody that said something like, if you're ready, you're late. That means you will never be ready, but you can be prepared, right? So while you're preparing yourself, while you're putting things together, test it, put it out in the arena and try, right? And I think the problem really isn't self-doubt. I believe it's our reaction to it. The problem begins when when the thoughts of self-doubt begin to stop us from actually trying, from actually taking shots, because we didn't rob ourselves of 100% of the shots we don't take, which is not what we want. Like, it's no bueno. And I think the final thing I like to say is also from the book War of Art, where Stephen Pressfield says, the counterfeit innovator is wildly self confident. extremely self-confident. But you see the real ones, the capable ones, the smart ones, the big guns that can actually get the gun, they can actually get the job done, they are scared to death. No bueno. We don't want that. And we can start changing all of that today.